let's talk about Drake Maye and what he has been to this team, right? And I would really say like the growth that we've seen from him, because I know they're sitting there at 2-2. But look, it's October 2nd. You're going into the second quarter of the season here, and if I'm the Patriots, I'm pretty happy with where Drake Maye stands, right? I mean, he has an NFL best 74% completion percentage, 83 and change completion percentage, and a 133 plus passer rating on third and fourth downs. So again, like, these are numbers that you love to see out of your quarterback. And I do think that, yes, have we seen some slow starts that we're still dealing with? Have we seen some ball security stuff? I'm still trying to be perfect, and I know that right. I just need to be precise, right? Like they're trying to like get that out of him, like and you can hear it, you can see it watching the way he plays. But look, I mean, he's third in the NFL with 9 touchdowns, 3 straight games now with multiple touchdown passes. These are all really good foundational building blocks for a sophomore quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah, and looking at the counting stats is great, right? These are things we haven't seen since Tom Brady. Cam Newton, week 2 of 2020 aside, we haven't seen performances like this in a very long time in New England. So that's all awesome. And then I start to think about who he's throwing the ball to. And it's like essentially Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs. That's all it's been. Austin Hooper gets his targets. Kayshon Boutte gets like 1 deep target per game. Pop Douglas has been invisible. Matt Collins only catches balls in the end zone from the 2-yard line. So if you think about the room for growth and how much better he can get when you put, more talent around him, that's what Patriots fans should be excited about. Watching what he's doing now is fantastic. It's great. Like, oh my goodness, competence at the quarterback position. I forgot what this looked like. Moving forward, it's going to get so much better. You can only hope. Obviously, they're going to have to bring in guys. Maybe Kyle Williams will take a step. Maybe they'll be able to go make a splash in free agency or a trade this offseason. But and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But watching what he's doing and just thinking about how much better it can get when they surround him with talent, when they make the overall offense better around him, that's the most exciting part of what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I think the other component to it, and we've certainly seen this around the league right now with offenses that are struggling, is the line in front of them, right? And this is something that Vrabel addressed when he first got the job. We like, this is where we're starting. Like, we need to address the line because, this is a game that's won and lost in the trenches. And I mean, goodness, like, look no further than the Houston Texans as one example of that this year. And it's not the only one. But this is a young offensive line, right? I mean, you referenced it just a few minutes ago. And the notion that they're going to continue to grow together and they're going to get better. So I think that's also significant to the fact that, him having a this like youth movement in front of him, basically, in the process of trying to develop himself and take off. It's like when you start to add all those pieces together, I think that there is a lot of reason to be excited that all of a sudden the Patriots have a quarterback that's going to grow in, really has the ability to grow in leaps and bounds over the course of the next, not necessarily this season, but seasons to come.
Yeah, the quarterbacks typically don't regress when it comes to their processing and their knowledge of the system and really the most important foundational pieces. Typically, they don't regress, right? I think about Geno Smith, right? Geno Smith went from being maybe the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life to a competent NFL starter. Regressed a little bit this year. Obviously, he's turning the ball over a ton. But we see that if you just have enough time in a system, working around other smart football minds, these guys pick it up and they get better. So if that stuff continues to grow on top of what we see with just his physical, he does things that maybe Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are the only other guys in the league can do. That's what makes him special. That's what makes it so easy for us to say they found their quarterback. And we think that they found their coach. And in the NFL, if you have those two things, not only can you beat anybody, but you always have room to grow. You can always fix the things around him because those two things are locked and set in stone.
Yeah, and I think the other component of that is the offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, and we know that
Yeah.
he has thrived in that particular position, in the league, and that's huge, right? Because I mean, I can't tell you how many people I have heard say to me over the years, don't mess with the voice in the quarterback's ear. Don't mess
Yes.
with the system
Yeah.
when they're young in this league and they're trying to get established. And it gets so much harder, when you start throwing a new voice in there, when you give them a new system. It's like, like so many people will sit there and say there is no faster way to ruin a quarterback than to keep making those changes.
Yeah.
Season in and
Yeah.
season out. I mean, we just saw Tennessee do it, right? It's like, their head coach Brian Callahan's like, no, I'm not gonna, call the plays anymore. So now all of a sudden, Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, he's got a different voice in his ear. Like it's
Right.
making an already difficult developmental process that much harder. So,
Yeah.
for Drake Maye to feel like he has the stability of, okay, Mike Vrabel's the head coach here. There's no gray area with him. That's how he is. And Josh McDaniels is the OC, and his system is complex and complicated. But once I learn it, we can keep building upon it, right? I mean, that's what we saw for so many years here in New England.
Yeah. I'd have to imagine you don't have to worry about him going anywhere anytime soon because we've seen it.
No.
Almost 3 times, but 2 times for sure, and it's just not going to happen. From everything we've heard from Josh McDaniels too, he likes it around here. He's just going to stick around for a long time. So that's great.
Yeah.
He's home. And with Drake Maye, you've seen that this is his 4th offensive coordinator in the last 4 years. If you go back to UNC and the debacle that went on his junior year, his last year there, where they essentially had the worst offensive line in the country and a guy calling plays that immediately lost his job and is like coaching tight ends somewhere in Division II. It was bad, very bad. His last year there. He got to New England and it was equally as bad. Alex Van Pelt did a fine job calling plays, but the systems were not in place and they had to throw a lot of it away. And really hone in on not only his knowledge of the system, but footwork and the way he's reading defenses and the way he can manipulate defenses with motion and all these different things. And he's picked it up so quickly that you'd have to imagine it's only going to continue to get better throughout the year. And then once he finally finds comfortability in the system, this system made Mac Jones look competent. It made Cam Newton look competent before he got COVID and fell off the face of the earth. It helped Tom Brady develop into the best quarterback of all time. So the early returns are good enough for you to have a lot of confidence that this thing is going to be exactly what you hoped it would be coming into the year.
Yeah, I agree. And you kind of look at the face of Boston sports, if you will, Keagan, and the de facto right now, despite the fact that he's dealing with a very difficult injury, is probably Jason Tatum, just because of, where the Celtics have been of late. But certainly, Drake Maye is starting to raise his hand and demonstrate himself. I think, being a captain on this team now, obviously, is part of it. Just the shuffle of the entire organization there within the Patriots franchise. You, of course, have Roman Anthony with the Red Sox, who has wholeheartedly injected himself into that conversation as well. Like, where do you sort of see this developing face of all the Boston sports franchises?
I think there are a lot of arguments to be made for Drake Maye. I think a lot of them have to do with the other people and not him, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jason Tatum, to me, is the face of Boston sports, and he should continue to be that until he's gone, right? He's got a title, 5 Eastern Conference Finals appearances, 670 winning percentage. He's been here for almost a decade. Like, that's the guy. But there's Jaylen Brown, and there's always been Jaylen Brown. For as long as he's been here, Jaylen Brown has been alongside him. So does he take a little bit of the shine off? Maybe. Roman Anthony.
I don't know if he should take shine off or if he should just be in the picture a little bit. Like, come on,
just two faces.
Share the spotlight a little bit. Yeah.
Right. And with Roman Anthony, there hasn't been enough. He's played like 65 games, and he likely will miss this postseason run unless they really make a run at the World Series. So it's going to take him a while to really establish himself. But in my eyes, this is a Red Sox town. And it's been a Red Sox town for a very long time. You know, there was a 20-year gap there when Tom Brady was running the show. But outside of that, it always will be a baseball city. So Roman Anthony has a real chance to get up there. But, you know, his youth, Jason Tatum having the supporting cast to help his success. And you look at Drake Maye, and he's the quarterback. And football is king. And Drake Maye, it has, like, quarterback progress is not linear, but for him, it's been straight shot up. So if he can continue that, for sure, he'll eventually get there. But for right now, it's not quite yet. You know, hold my banner. They've got their guy, and he's the best in the business. So that's the guy for now for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, like so much of it has to do with relevance. And when you talk about relevance, you talk about titles. I mean, that's just the reality of it. It's like, are you trying to put some rings on here? Because you have to be in a situation where you at least have the opportunity to play for a ring, to be the face of sports in a town like Boston or any other for that matter. So if you want to start challenging for that, then you've got to put yourself in a position where, you know, you're consistently talking about being in the playoffs and you're consistently talking about the chance to go out there and play for a championship. And that's something that Tatum has done. You know, like you said, he's been here for 10 years. Like he's been able to do that time and time and time again. You know, and I think for anyone to sort of knock up there and be like, all right, like I'm ready to take this image and be this image, they've got to have a chance to go play for the titles.